As the music swelled and faded with the wind ripping across the pasture, dust hanging in the air like smoke after the shot, everything slowed just enough to let it sink in, that deep thump of impact echoing across the hill as the coyote folded exactly where he stood, and in that moment all the miles, all the empty stands, all the trial and error with calls and setups came rushing back because this wasn't luck. This was repetition paying off, years of running ICO Tech game calls, trusting the sound, trusting the setup, trusting the process, watching two coyotes materialize out of nothing, one already down and the second slipping up the hill left of the cattle, trying to use the terrain and the wind the way coyotes always do, and as the rangefinder flashed 440 yards the decision was instant, calm, deliberate, no rush, just fundamentals, accounting for the wind that never lets you forget it's there, settling in, breaking the shot and watching that coyote crumple at distance, proof that preparation beats chaos every time. And when the dust finally settled and the silence returned, it was another double down earned through smart combo calling, blending the Night Stalker plus electronic call with the Icotech mouth call, pulling predators exactly where they needed to be, doing what predator control is supposed to do, helping livestock, helping wildlife, even protecting the pets that never know how close danger gets. And as the cameras roll and the gear gets packed up, it's not about bragging, it's about responsibility, respect for the land, and gratitude for days like this. The kind that remind you why you keep coming back, why you keep calling, why you keep learning, and why, when it all comes together, there's nothing cooler than watching a plan unfold perfectly from the first sound to the final shot. As we gathered ourselves after that stand, the wind still howling and the cattle shifting nervously nearby, the reality of how fast everything had unfolded really set in, because moments earlier the field had been empty and silent, and now two coyotes lay exactly where strategy and patience had put them. And that's the thing about these hunts. Nothing ever happens by accident. Every sound sequence, every pause, every adjustment to the call volume is deliberate, meant to exploit curiosity and confidence at the same time. And as we replayed the stand in our heads we could see how the setup funneled them naturally, how the terrain forced them to crest the hill, how the wind that could have ruined everything instead became part of the plan, and standing there with rifles cooling and dust settling, there was that familiar mix of adrenaline and calm, knowing we'd done our job cleanly and effectively, knowing the rancher would sleep easier tonight, knowing the balance had been nudged back where it belonged. And that's the part people don't always see, the quiet satisfaction after the shots, the respect for the animals, and the understanding that predator management isn't chaos, it's discipline executed under pressure. With the stand wrapped up and the gear slung back over our shoulders, conversation naturally turned to what made it work so well, because success like that is worth breaking down, worth learning from, and we talked about how long we've trusted ICO Tech calls, how consistent sound quality and realistic tone make predators commit instead of hang up, how pairing an electronic call with a mouth call adds just enough realism and unpredictability to seal the deal, and how reading the landscape, those subtle ditches, the slope of the hill, the way coyotes prefer to approach livestock areas, can turn an average setup into a textbook one. And as we walked back past the cattle, already calmer now, it was impossible not to reflect on the bigger picture, that these hunts aren't just about pulling triggers but about protecting livelihoods, supporting healthy wildlife populations, and doing it in a way that's ethical, efficient, and repeatable, and as the sun dipped lower and the wind refused to let up, we knew this was just another chapter in a long season, another reminder that when preparation meets opportunity, the results truly do speak for themselves. As the light started to fade and the shadows stretched across the pasture, we moved into the next stand with that quiet confidence that only comes after everything has already gone right, knowing full well that the wind was still a problem but also knowing that pressure like this forces predators to make mistakes. And as we settled in, dust swirling around our boots and the call placed just far enough to pull attention away from us, the land felt alive again, like it was holding its breath, and within minutes shapes began to materialize out of the distance. Cautious at first, stopping, scanning, testing the air, then committing inch by inch, and when the moment finally came it was clean and decisive. The rifle barked once and then again, echoes rolling across the hills, another coyote folded exactly where it stood, proof once more that patience beats speed and planning beats luck. And standing there afterward, watching the wind ripple the grass around us, it hit home how every successful stand stacks on the last, how confidence grows quietly, and how each clean shot reinforces the discipline that keeps these hunts controlled instead of reckless. By the end of the day, with the sun low on the horizon and gear packed back into the truck, there was that familiar exhaustion mixed with satisfaction, the kind you only earn by doing things the right way over and over again. And as we looked back across the ground we'd hunted, past the cattle, the hills, the ditches where coyotes had once moved unseen, it was clear that this wasn't just another hunt. It was a reminder of why we do this in the first place, why predator management matters, why good equipment, good calling, and good decision-making all come together in moments that last only seconds but mean far more than that. And as we rolled out, dust trailing behind us, already talking about the next stand in the next season, one thing was certain. Days like this don't happen by accident, they're built shot by shot, stand by stand, and that's exactly what keeps us coming back.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.